Can we please just rise to welcome our dignitaries? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. You can take your seats. Okay. When we get a chance, somebody can just attend to the banner here. Good morning once again, and again, apologies for a slightly delayed start. My name is Lita Maginga. I'm the President and CEO of the Culture Research Council, and I'll be chairing the session. We're very pleased to have all of you with us today. Our dignitaries this morning that have joined this session is our Deputy Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Madam Rosemary Nokzola Chapa. Thank you, Deputy Minister, for being with us. We also have Ms. Nakedi Grace Sibanda Kekana, the Limpopo Member of Executive Council for Agriculture and Rural Development. Oh, she's still outside. We have Hoshi Mushi Ezekiel Mabe, who is a member of Traditional and Khoisan House of Traditional Leaders. Thank you, Hoshi. We also have Hoshi Lidwaba from the province. We have Councillor Masuha, who is representing the district mayor for Capricorn District. And we have Councillor Yusuf Pema, who is representing the executive mayor, Councillor John Mpe of the Polokwane local municipality, where we are today and where we will be spending the next 3 days. I would also like to acknowledge our Director General for the Department of Agriculture of South Africa, Mr. Mukeza Ramasodi, who is sitting right here, who is familiar to many of you in the room. And let me greet all of us in the room, representatives from various governments of our countries in the G20 and invited countries, representatives of international organizations, research, academia, private sector, farmer organizations, and members of the media. It gives me great honor and pleasure to share a few remarks with all of you this morning. This is the member of the Executive Committee for Agriculture who is just joining us. Thank you, MEC. We've already introduced you in your absence. Ladies and gentlemen, we gathered here at the 14th meeting of agricultural chief scientists for the G20 in Polokwane, Limpopo province of South Africa. This province borders Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, and is also known as the gateway to Africa in this country. It is rich in cultural heritage and home to the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Mapungube, an ancient African kingdom. Rich in biodiversity, including the Big Five wildlife, it is also home to Mujaji, the Rain Queen. And you will learn a little bit more about that as you spend more time in this province. This meeting marks a critical milestone in the journey that we have traveled since the assumption of the G20 presidency as South Africa. It comes just over a month after the second G20 Agriculture Working Group and the Food Security Task Force, which took place as a physical meeting in Durban, where some of you here might have been present as well. In tackling the challenge of hunger, poverty, and food security, the role of agricultural scientists cannot be overstated. You will agree with me that agricultural scientists play a crucial role in addressing these global challenges. Collectively, agricultural scientists are at the forefront of developing new technologies and practices that can increase crop yields and improve food quality. And today, most of these global challenges that have been identified indeed require collaborative effort. Collaboration amongst all of us is indeed key in addressing global agricultural challenges. And the G20 meeting and the meeting of agricultural chief scientists specifically serves as a platform for countries to come together, share best practices, and identify solutions in responding to these challenges. As the Agricultural Research Council of South Africa, we have had the honor to lead the organizing of this meeting, working closely with our national department and the provincial department of Limpopo, supported by all the relevant sector, provincial and national partners. It therefore gives me great pleasure to chair this opening session this morning, where we will also be addressed by our national and provincial dignitaries, whom I have already introduced to you. In our culture, when you have important people and elders in the room in welcoming guests, it is significant and says that we respect you, we welcome you, we wish you to enjoy our hospitality, but we would like to also connect with you as a community. I am therefore very pleased at this moment to invite our Director General of the Department of Agriculture in South Africa, Mr. Moketsa Ramasodi, to come to the fore. A round of applause for the DG. Sorry, I have seen that.
Good morning. I was requested today to introduce the dignitaries that we have, and I know that the CEO has already done that, and in the interest of time, I never miss an opportunity to say something, but today I will, and say that all protocol observed and all have been introduced. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DG. And I think that also helps us maybe to make up some of the time that we lost this morning. So we really appreciate you doing that, DG, for that gesture. And now we are going to DG. We're now going to have Councillor, the representative of the Executive Mayor of Polokwane, to come to the stage, Councillor Yusuf Pema, to say a few words.
Thank you, Program Director. Let me just start by acknowledging our Honorable Premier, Dr. Poppy Ramathuba in absentia, Honorable Ministers, Deputy Minister of Agriculture, DM Chupa, and other Deputy Ministers, Limpopo MEC of Agriculture, Mayor Nakeri Kekana, and any other MECs that might be present, His Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the traditional Khoisan leaders, Khoshi Mabe and Khoshi Lidwaba, my fellow MMC Calvin Mashego from Capricorn District Municipality, esteemed cultural chief scientists of the G20, member countries and invited partners, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you to Polokwane, the heartbeat of Limpopo, the capital of the South African agricultural diversity. We are truly humbled to host this crucial G20 meeting of agricultural chief scientists, fondly known as MACS. As part of this important build-up to the G20 summit scheduled for November this year, Polokwane, meaning place of safety, in northern Sotho, is today a place of scientific diplomacy, innovation and global cooperation. The presence of the world's top agricultural minds here affirms our city's role not only in domestic development but in global transformation. Allow me to begin by acknowledging the absence of our Executive Mayor, Councillor Makora John Mpe, who is currently in Brazil, representing us in our city at the 2025 General Assembly of the BRICS Plus Association of Cities and Municipalities. His participation in that platform is no coincidence. It is a reflection of Polokwane's emerging global structure, connecting and developing aspirations for the global South with global policy framework like the G20. His engagement with other cities within BRICS Plus echoes and strengthens our workstream taking place here this week. As agricultural scientists develop into this intricate issues of food security, climate-resilient farming, biotechnology, soil health, digital agriculture, and inclusive policy frameworks, we are reminded of the words of the late Wangari Maathai: "You cannot protect the environment unless you empower people, you inform them and help them understand that these resources are their own." I close quote. The sentiments resonates powerfully with your work. The G20 MACS agenda aligns perfectly with our own local goals, enabling smallholder farmers, investing in agri-innovation, and confronting the impact of climate change head-on. From the fields of Mankweng to the academic corridors of the University of Limpopo, we are actively building an ecosystem of knowledge and application. Hosting the MACS in Polokwane is a catalytic moment. It positions our city as a platform for global agricultural dialogue and transformation. It brings knowledge and transfer close to those who need it most. It opens the door to international collaboration in sustainable agricultural, agri-processing, and innovation. A priority in the integrated development plan, our IDP, of our municipality and the Limpopo Development Plan. Albert Einstein once said, "We cannot solve a problem with the same thinking used to create them." I close quote. The MACS platform gives us an opportunity to realign our collective agricultural futures. The breakthrough you propose here could very well determine how we feed the world tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the G20 is not just a forum for the world's largest economies, it is the lighthouse of cooperation in these turbulent times. It brings together the brain power, policy ambitions, and scientific insights required to safeguard our global food system. As Polokwane hosts this pivotal workstream, we do so in the spirit of Ubuntu, recognizing that I am because you are. We stand ready to learn, share and support the G20's vision of sustainable agriculture for food security and nutrition. In conclusion, let this week be marked by robust dialogue, grounded collaboration, and bold action. May the insights you develop here influence your policy corridors that we developed in Rome, Brazil, Beijing, New Delhi, and right back here in Polokwane. Once again, welcome to our city, the city of Polokwane. Ke a leboga. I thank you, Pula.
Thank you very much, Councillor. We are now going to call upon Hoshi Mabe from the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders to come to the podium. Welcome, Hoshi. Round of applause, please.
Thank you. Program Director, thank you very much to have afforded me this opportunity to stand here. In the interest of time, DM, the MEC, and our mayors present, Hoshi Lidwaba, and all the dignitaries that are here. We feel very honored as the House, National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders to be invited in this auspicious occasion. Somebody may think that we are not scientists, but when we remember the indigenous knowledge system comes from us as traditional leaders and traditional communities. We hope and trust that this gathering will come up with resolutions, will come up with things to do that will benefit the nation, that will benefit in general humanity. We also hope and trust that as you innovate, as you come up with new ways of doing agriculture, you are taking into consideration environmental impact, obviously. We know very well that we talk about health or healthy nation. We talk about the population growth. The big question will be, are we innovating ways of producing food that match the growth of our population? Are we producing healthy food that will nurture the humanity? Obviously, as you come up with innovative ways in agriculture, those are the aspects that you'll be looking at. And at the same time, we know very well that agriculture is an economy on its own. You will talk of markets, you'll talk of consumers. Obviously, this G20 that is coming to our country, first time in Africa, will make sure that all the countries are here. We also extend our support to the president of our country to make sure that every president, including the president of America, will attend this G20 to make sure that it becomes a success. We know very well that agriculture is what we live, is what we eat, and it's everything to humanity. Therefore, we bless this meeting, and we hope that the resolutions that will come out from here will benefit the nation or will benefit the entire humanity. God bless our country. God bless the humanity in the world. Thank you very much. Apulaene.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hoshi. We really appreciate those words. In the interest of time, let us move to the next speaker who is going to give us a message today, the member of Executive Council for Agriculture and Rural Development in the Limpopo province, MEC Nakedi Grace Bandakekana. Thank you, MEC.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Ms. Nokuzola Kapa, the representatives of Polokwane Municipality, Executive Mayor, Councillor Jessica Pema, Honorable Masora, the MMC representing the Executive Mayor for Capricorn District Municipality, also the host, Koshi Mabe, member of the House of the Traditional Leaders and Kwesen, Koshi Lidwaba, Bakadi Fukeng, Dr. Lita Matsinga, President and CEO of the Agricultural Research Council South Africa, Professor Lindiwe Majele Sibanda, CGIAR Integrated Partnership Board Chairperson, Mr. Mwekeza Ramasodi, Director General Department of Agriculture South Africa, esteemed G20 countries, international organizations, knowledge partners, Troika members, Russia and USA regional organizations, chief agricultural scientists, technical experts, moderators, University of Limpopo and Vembe, acting HOD, Limpopo Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, exhibitors, colleagues, distinguished delegates, guests, ladies and gentlemen, Abusheni, Towela, good morning, Kuyemore. It is both a privilege and profound honor to welcome you to Limpopo, the province of peace, as we gather for this historic 14th meeting of the G20 Agricultural Chief Scientists. This event is part of the G20 activities to be hosted on the African soil for the first time, and it holds an immense significance not only for South Africa, but a defining moment for the entire continent and the globe as we unite under the banner of solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Speaking during the Thabo Mbeki annual lecture in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania on Friday, the 23rd of May, 2025, the Tanzanian ambassador Noel Kakanda said, and I quote, "It is for the first time for African country has assumed the G20 presidency. There is no other than the Republic of South Africa. This is not only a symbolic, it is an unprecedented opportunity for Africa to assert its voice, champion its priorities, and shape the direction of global economic governance." Program Director, as the only African nation represented in the G20, South Africa carries a profound responsibility in ensuring that the voices of the underdeveloped and the developing economies, particularly those in Africa, are heard on the global space. The G20's focus on economic growth, trade, investment, climate action, and digital transformation resonates deeply with our development priorities in Limpopo. We understand that global economic policies have real tangible effects on the lives of ordinary people, and it is indeed a duty to ensure that these policies translate into meaningful opportunities to our communities. This G20 stakeholders meeting is more than just a formal engagement, but also a bridge between international policy and local realities. The high-level contributions today will find its expression in the declaration that will be handed to US presidency in 2026 November. Program Director, as we meet here today, in this fertile heart of South Africa, which is Limpopo, it is crucial to acknowledge the pivotal role that agriculture plays in global food systems, particularly as the world faces the pressing challenges of hunger, climate change, and economic inequality. Today, over 700 million people around the globe are grappling with food insecurity. Sub-Saharan Africa in particular bears the heaviest burden. In terms of statistics, South Africa 2022, a significant portion in households in Limpopo compared to other provinces were involved in agriculture. However, many households produce food for own consumption other than for commercialization, which is a worrying factor, hence the need for more research, innovations, and collaboration from your good self that will culminate in policies and frameworks to create an enabling environment for our farmers, especially the emerging farmers, the SMMEs in general, and designated groups in particular, which is our women, youth, and persons with disability in particular, to expand in primary production and their value chain. Equally, Limpopo province is defined by its economic dynamism and strategic importance. It is an agricultural powerhouse, a global player in various cultivars like grains, citrus, avocados, macadamia, nuts, maize production, feeding both the nation and international markets because of our fertile land. And other countries like China, Japan, the BRICS countries can attest to what I'm saying. And in terms of its fertile land, the favorable climate conditions, and the resilience of our farmers amid the backdrop of the climate change. The transformation of our agri-food systems is no longer an option. It is an urgent necessity. We must leverage science, technology, and innovation to build resilient food systems that ensure food security for all and provide sustainable livelihoods to millions. Here in Limpopo Program Director, we are deeply committed to the vision of a transformed, sustainable, and inclusive agricultural sector. Under the leadership of Premier Dr. Popira Matuba, the Limpopo provincial government has been championing initiatives that bridge the gap between agricultural development and the socio-economic empowerment. Our commitment to the transformation of agri-food systems is embodied in projects like Kharos ya Kharos, a flagship agro-processing initiative aimed at enhancing food security, creating jobs, and empowering local municipality. And by the way, he is the young entrepreneur. I would also like to acknowledge the tireless efforts of innovators like Edward Kharos, whose work continues to inspire us in our pursuit of agricultural advancement. I hope you can get an opportunity to taste his potato yogurt as part of agro-processing. That is yogurt processed from sweet potato. This is part of the production of the raw materials and their value chain. We have supported him, and he's now expanding where jobs will be created, and the appetite of primary produce of sweet potatoes will go up. Ladies and gentlemen, our province is a model of how local action can contribute to global solutions. By embracing climate-smart agricultural practices, investing in precision farming, and promoting sustainable agro-processing, we are paving the way for a greener, more inclusive agricultural economy. In the context of the G20, South Africa, through its leadership in agricultural science and policy, is well positioned to serve as a beacon of progress for the African continent. Our success in addressing food insecurity, promoting diversity, conservation, and empowering women and youth in agriculture will set a powerful example for the rest of the world. As we deliberate over the 6 critical themes of this event, from the transformation of agri-food systems to the stewardship of biodiversity, we must recognize the inherent connection between food systems and the broader global challenges we face. It is clear that we cannot afford to tackle food security in isolation. We must address the systematic issues of climate change, economic inequality, and biodiversity loss in tandem, so that we'll be able to produce the good quality of the soil health, and also taking into cognizance the issue of soil erosion, the land erosion, and the soil degradation. The solution we seek will be complex, but the opportunity for collaborative action has never been more urgent. Hence, you are here today. We are encouraged by the presence of international experts and innovators at this gathering. Your expertise and dialogue are crucial as we explore ways to enhance soil health, adapt digital agriculture solutions, and integrate 4IR technologies into our food systems. In Limpopo, we have already made strides in these areas with the University of Limpopo and Venda, leading groundbreaking research alongside the contribution from our agricultural research stations like Toowoomba and Mara. And amongst us today, we are pleased to announce that we have Dr. Masilu from one of our research stations, who is the top published researcher in Africa and was ranked the 32nd out of 500 researchers in 2020 by Skyval, an international research analytic tool hosted by Elsevier. Limpopo agricultural sector is also proud to showcase our hard-working farmers, from the smallholder farmers striving to achieve commercial success to the seasoned livestock producers leading in sustainability. These are the voices and faces of our agricultural future. With your support, Program Director, we inspire to expand this success to new heights, building stronger connections between Limpopo and the global market. As we deliberate over the next few days, let us be guided by the spirit of Ubuntu, the belief that I am because we are. Our collective future depends not only on the achievements of individual nations, but on the well-being of the global community. Let us stand together in solidarity, ensuring that our efforts are inclusive and sustainable, ensuring that every voice, particularly from the global south, has the opportunity to contribute to the transformation of global agri-food systems. In conclusion, Program Director, I extend our gratitude for this momentous opportunity to host you here in Limpopo, the peaceful province that is alluded to by the president of this country, and also the Statistics South Africa, and also the first quarter of the research of the Statistic Crime Research Review or Survey, which indicates that Limpopo is a safer place for both the investment and the tourists. We are confident that the discussions and outcomes of this G20 MACS event will lay the groundwork for a more resilient, equitable, and sustainable agricultural future. We invite you to explore the beauty and potential of Limpopo as we look forward to fostering lasting partnership that will drive agricultural transformation, not just in South Africa, not just in Limpopo, but across the continent and beyond, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC. And thank you to all our speakers so far who have done a good job in reminding us of not only the importance of agriculture, but the importance of the discussions that we are going to be having here. And the MEC rightly reminded us that we are indeed in the fertile heart of South Africa. And indeed, we are proud of hosting the G20 meetings in South Africa the first time on African soil, and as our president has also said, this is for South Africa, but it's also for the continent under the theme Solidarity, Equity and Sustainability. And thank you, Hoshi, for the blessing of the meeting. I think we have received a lot of what we need in order to proceed with our engagements going forward. The MEC laid the ground by also reminding us of the importance of the global policy discussions on the lives of ordinary people, while going into a little bit about some of the themes that we are going to spend the next 2 days going into a certain level of detail around. I'm hoping that some of the delegates will get to sample the yogurt that the MEC talked about. Of course, in the next 2 days, there will also be as you will see in the program, an opportunity to visit one of the universities in this province that the MEC talked about. And I think importantly, she really reminded us about Ubuntu, I am because we are, which is what brings us all together. And proudly, as this country, we always lean on that principle to guide what we do. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite our Deputy Minister, Honorable Nokuzola Chapa, to come and give us the keynote address for this morning. Deputy Minister, over to you. Thank you. Thank you, Mafak.
Thank you. Good morning, Program Director. You are so good that as long as we continue to work together, but today I think you are excelling. I congratulate you. Please allow me the opportunity to rise on the existing protocol so that I am in a position to save some of my minutes. However, I don't have a cow or any animal to pay to the traditional leadership should I not specifically acknowledge them in their own fatherland. Thank you very much, Mhlekazi, for actually being with us and embrace us as your daughters and sons in Limpopo to continue to work with you in other countries of the world. This is the collective of whom we are. As our president continued to say to us, we should leave no one behind. And we should continue to be inclusive in all what we seek to do. So today, together with our very important guests today, as well as delegates representing their own countries, we are happy that we are all inclusive as welcoming you in South Africa, in the province of the Limpopo, and their people of the land. To date, I stand here on behalf of the Department of Agriculture in South Africa to be able to work closer today and tomorrow on behalf of all South Africans, whether they are in other departments or in other spheres of government and a way of working. But let me, Honorable Executive of Agriculture, let me be able to say, as the organization, MACS, of South African local government, and when we see the executive mayors, we are really very, very happy because our people live in villages. Our people live in wards. Our people live in local municipalities, district municipalities, and a South African Local Government Association. We appreciate that leadership because it continues to enable us to achieve what our president is saying to us. Be inclusive. Don't leave anyone behind. We are now gathered here, Program Director, as a collective of the whole country and this province in particular, Limpopo. I would also want to say, ladies and gentlemen, we all have been informed this very moment in this meeting that agriculture and food systems are central to global food and nutrition security. Whatever we want to do, we will, ladies and gentlemen, put this forward as we move with our deliberations. We are also aware of the more global food and nutrition challenges, as we all agree in various platforms where we were even a day before yesterday. I arrived only this morning. We all agree that we are also aware of more than 700 million people who experience hunger across the globe. In all our struggles as people of the world, we actually aware that no one should go to bed hungry. As we continue to provide sufficient food for all our people, we are also very much aware of the challenges that continue to confront us in that good work which we seek to do. The issues of climate change. We've been talking about climate change on the way towards ourselves. But here in South Africa, our experiences are very clear that it's not coming. It's here with us. I do know that the heads of livestock here at DG in Limpopo are more than the heads of the farmers themselves. But when rain comes, when snow comes, when storms come, we lose a lot. And then we have to begin from the beginning. We therefore agree with you, delegates, with all you will be, the wisdom and wealth of information you will be giving us these 2 days. We want to work with you. We want to try and be proactive and be preventive of all such ills attacking us at any given stage. That is there for your work. I dare not, Program Director, DG, go to that area of saying, what is it that we should do? You are now an open book. All of us here, we are ready to read the book you are bringing. And we hope also we will contribute enough for you to take to other countries. All the time, I've always thought, ladies and gentlemen, that it's here in South Africa that we don't have golden windows. Because I used to see when the sun goes down, all the windows there and glasses a little bit gold. And I had vowed that when I grew older and be able to travel, I'll go where the sun goes. When I went there, I asked them, you have gold in abundance. And I've come to take some for us in South Africa. And I was told, no, it's in abundance in your area. As we sit here, we see the sun rising and all your windows golden. We have met now. We know that there is no such as gold on the other side and not gold on the other side. We better come together and we will exactly know where that gold is. We are collectively, increasingly wanted to hold your hands. We want to hold your hands as you represent your countries, as you represent the organizations where we come together and plan and implement together. We have indeed been involved in this journey through our leaders. I remember very well, at some stage, we went to find out that we were not having the same equal wealth of information insofar as science and other things is concerned, let alone research and technology. Therefore, there was a decision that there should be a NEPAD in Africa, so that we can learn from each other. I can tell you that actually gave us a very good result, because when we do elections, we are combining all the skills in the same areas so that we can do the best of technology, not to count votes for almost 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because now they can do it the other way. Thanks to all those who actually participated in that. We've not only done that, we have felt very strongly, and we agree with you as you bring your inputs today, that all we want is to have this technology so that you can sit in your very important country, and then we can talk together while I am sitting on a mat in South Africa and engage, and no time spending and everything. Our achievements are going to be more and more. I also want to appreciate the fact that many times as countries, we have tried to bring legislation that is transformatory, legislation that is going to help us change the situation of our people. However, I don't know in other countries, I don't want to assume, but I've experienced here at home that some of such strategies do not yield the expected results. Many times, the opposite. Sorry about that. It is therefore why we are here, to put them on test, to actually have experts, abantu abakhulu, putting them into action and testing their effectiveness. We have seen some changes in how, when we are all globally putting a team such as this one, DG, a team that is going to ensure that our strategies, our strategic plans are informed by the reality, and therefore we will not waste on hit and run, but we will be precisely addressing what is a problem to our people. As I represent the department, DG, as I appreciate what our teams in various areas are able to put actually activities together, so that when the global teams come, we are able to meaningfully contribute as well as receptive of what will take place. And then together as the whole country, we will take it from there. Jose, I am a pondo speaker. Ndiyacela kuba ndithethe nawe ngolo hlobo. Ndithi asikubona uba usincedile uba mawuzomela inkosi apha. Siyatsho kwilizwe lonke into yokokuba nanisoloko nikhona. You were there before us. You were actually surviving without any support except your indigenous knowledge to lead the nations out of poverty. We then still believe we need that wisdom. And all, as your grandchildren, granddaughters, we will always continue to ensure that that particular indigenous knowledge that you have is taken through from generation to generation. Go to your house, nationally and provincially, and say, all of us, we have sent a message of good wishes to our guests in South Africa and in deep rural areas. We will always be there for you to walk with us the way. Ndiyafuna ke ukubulela ndithi, thank you very much, our leaders from the entire world when you are here. We know our messages will reach the communities where you come from, the churches where you come from, all those who must benefit out of the wisdom and the experiences of participation today. We also never will we forget what Brazil has done for us, for actually having a leader as the president of the G20, and we will stand on their shoulders as this country, working with all of you to say what they put forward, we propel, so that at the end of the day, there are no gaps in what the peoples of the world want to do. I thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I apologize if I take all your time. I'll buy you some.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. Well, we learn every day. Maybe we can find the secret to how to buy time. Deputy Minister, thank you indeed for sharing some of your insights with us. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time to spend this morning with us. I'm not going to try and go through what the Deputy Minister has covered, but I like the emphasis on the role of leadership, Deputy Minister, because that's what, at the end of the day, what we are trying to do here is going to benefit from, making sure that we leave no one behind. I must acknowledge the inspiring talk and the encouraging words. I think this collective in this room has received them well, and we will take them with us as we continue with the deliberations for the rest of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, the next step is now for our dignitaries to take leave of the room. Just outside, they will be engaging with the media. There is a media briefing that's going to take place, after which they will be guided to our exhibition area within the premises. And I would like to take this opportunity to also encourage all our delegates to take time to interact with the exhibition area that has been set up to learn more about the work that organizations here embark upon. While our dignitaries are continuing with those activities, us in this room, we will be continuing with the program of the day and trying to make up for any lost time. So thank you very much. A round of applause once again for our dignitaries. We can now lead the dignitaries out. If you can just make space for them. Thank you once again. Another round of applause as they leave the stage. Thank you, DM. Thank you, DM.
At new time.
Thank you. Thank you, MEC. Thank you, MEC. Appreciate it. Thank you, Hoshi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hoshi. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you once again. I think if we are ready to get to the next part of the program, we can proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make sure that all of us have access to the agenda for today. That is going to guide our activities as we proceed. I have just noticed that we are slightly behind, but I don't think it is catastrophic. I think it's recoverable. And the Deputy Minister has also given me a little bit of hope that it is possible to buy some additional time that we have lost. We are now, in terms of the program, at the adoption of the agenda stage, and I just want to confirm the adoption of the agenda to see if I can get a mover for the adoption of the agenda. Is there anybody opposed to us proceeding with the agenda as is? If not, we can then take the agenda as adopted by this collective. The next step is to receive statements from the Troika members, starting with Brazil. Thank you, Brazil. Over to you.
Thank you, dear Chair, Dr. Lita Mangisha, and thanks for receiving us in this beautiful place. Dear delegates from G20 and invite countries and organizations, good morning for all. It's a pleasure to meet you again here. After 1 year since we met in Brasilia to discuss research and innovation priorities in agriculture, agroforestry, aquaculture, and other forms of food production, and to reinforce the research cooperation among countries to reduce malnutrition and hunger, to improve food security and nutrition, and to address the consequences of climate change and biodiversity loss and its impact and opportunities for adaptation mitigation. You are together again here in South Africa. During the 13th MACS, we emphasized that international cooperation in science, technology, innovation, training and capacity building, investment environments, public policy, and share of sustainable practices were fundamental to promoting responses in a global effort in an increasingly challenging scenario, both in the technical and geopolitical spheres. We highlighted the role of the science to enhance productivity and resilience to food production and encourage the agricultural research institutions in the G20 countries and beyond to work as partners in support the knowledge pillar of the Global Alliance Against Poverty and Hunger. At that time, we note that the vulnerability of agriculture and food system to adverse impact of climate change and biodiversity loss, and highlight the need for new and innovative approaches to improve our preparedness and to promote diversification and disaster risk management in sustainable food production systems. We highlighted also the fact that each agriculture and food production system have its own challenge and that solution must be context-specific, outcomes-focused, science and evidence-based. We recognized the essential role of conserving and restoring water system and soil health as a foundation of agriculture. Sustainable intensification, regenerative and agroecological approaches, One Health, conservation, improvement of the sustainable of genetic resource as well breeding, development of access and access to digital solutions in agriculture were some of the topics we discussed and agreed upon the urgent need for first mobilize and increase resources from all sources for implementing research and development in sustainable farm actions at all levels. The outcomes of the 13th MACS were welcomed and adopted by the G20 Agriculture Minister Declaration, which reveals its importance and the need to be implemented and strengthened. Now, in the 14th MACS, we have the opportunity to further reaffirm our priorities on sustainability of agri-food systems, on stewardship of biodiversity and genetic resources, on improving soil health, reinforce the resilience of agriculture and food production system, and promote bioeconomy and the digital agriculture. Achieving those objectives is only possible with cooperation in science, technology, and innovation, not forgetting the central role of sharing knowledge, training, and capacity building. As an example of action, Brazil has just done this last week during the second Brazil-African dialogue that was cited by Mrs. Deputy Minister Nokozula here, which brought together more than 40 African countries and representatives to Brazil to discuss and share the challenge for the future of agriculture and food security. So on behalf of Embrapa's president and the Brazilian government, I greet all the delegations on this 14th MACS and welcome the theme Solidarity, Equality, and Sustainability for South Africa's G20 presidency. To finalize, I would like to connect the African philosophy of Ubuntu, I am because we are, to the concept of mutirão, that it's a culture inherited from Brazilian native indigenous people that refers to a community coming together to work on a shared task, whether harvesting, building, or support one to another. So by sharing this invaluable ancestral wisdom and social technology, the incoming COP30 presidents of Brazil invites the international community and the agricultural research community of G20 to join us in a global mutirão against climate change and its harmful effects on agriculture and food security. A global effort of cooperation among people for the progress of humanity is urgent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brazil. We are not going to receive a statement from the US. We have received a formal apology for this meeting that they are not going to be able to be part of it. So thank you, Brazil, for those comments reinforcing the importance of research cooperation amongst countries, and indeed our Deputy Minister did share all the stories from the dialogue that she attended in your country over the last couple of days. And I am not going to spend time to try and paraphrase what you have highlighted. We have acknowledged the contributions and we are taking note of it, and it's going to fit into the thinking that we are going to be reflecting back to the meeting. We are slightly running ahead, behind time as all of us are aware. It's now 10:24. At 10:00, we were supposed to be breaking for tea and accompanied by a group photo. And we are going to then appeal that perhaps instead of the 45 minutes that is allocated for the group photo and tea break. We try and do it in 30 minutes so that we can try and be back here by 1100. So 30:35, so we're just shaving off 10 minutes. If we can resume at 1100, I think we will more or less be getting closer to the original time. If everybody agrees, please let's try and do that. So a group photo and a tea break, and we're back here 1100. Thank you, everyone. Sorry? Yeah, the exit is to my right-hand side. And we will be guided in terms of, we will start with a group photo and then we will go and have the tea. Thank you. See you at 1100.